Morning everyone. Well, we have a nice sunny day after all that rain. So taking the dogs a walk. They're getting a bit of a late walk because I had a lot on this week already. Sick of seeing the hospital, not me, parent, son. So it's going to be one of them weeks. So I thought I would just, while I walk the dogs, have a little talk about the weekend of camping and some of the kit. So let me just change angles of this camera. There we are. That makes it easier to hold while I talk, and you can see the dogs. In fact, one's behind me. I've got 3 of them. The other 2 can go walk in a minute. I seem to have a bit of a cough, so you'll have to excuse me. Whoa! Frey, go steady. So, the kit at the weekend, new kit, worked out fantastic. Considering it hardly stopped raining all weekend, and there was a lot of really heavy rain as well, torrential rain. The tent was pitched at the Caravan and Camping Club site, so it wasn't actually tested out for the severe wind, but I'm glad it didn't go wild camping, because on top of Kinder the tent would have got a good old battering. It was horrendous up there. My new Osmo Action has got wind suppressant on it, and it works really well. When it gets really windy though, it's cutting out the wind noise, but it reduces my voice as well, so I have to be really close to the camera if you want to hear me. But it got to the point where even the Osmo couldn't cope, and you just couldn't hear me, and the wind was howling on the video. But it had done really well till I turned for home, and I was walking straight into the wind, so I suppose the camera was getting more direct wind than it was when we was walking the other way. But I'm quite pleased with my new Osmo. And my tent, very pleased with. No condensation, really happy with the tent. There's plenty of room for me and Rex. In fact, I could get 2 dogs in there quite comfortably at the side of me. Well, I could actually get more than 2 dogs. In fact, I probably could get 3 to 4 actually curled up down the side of my bed. But I'm watching where everybody's going. What are you doing? You're all sniffing at something. Yes. Go on then. Not that I think I really would want to go hiking with all that many to keep an eye on. So, tent good. New camera good. And the next new thing was the cooking system. Really liked the new cooking system. I could, no matter where I put it, it was stable. I suppose it's a little bit bulkier than some, but I liked it, and I found it easy to use, especially the new mug I have with the extra light heat. Come on, keep moving. I can't think what you call it. The bit at the bottom of the mug that's like a heat thing, it kind of holds the heat round. It makes any gap between the top of the stove and the pot, and it worked. I boiled water instantly. It was really, I didn't fill it to the top, of course. I only wanted enough for a cup of tea. You only just got it on and it was boiling. So go on, you nuisance. So I was really happy with that. So what else have I ever had new? Let me think. I don't think I've really had anything else new. The Thermarest that I've got two. Brought one along for the dog, but it slipped out from underneath him and came across to my side, so they were both second hand, but really good. So I'm quite pleased I bought them. I've got them really cheap. Oh yes, I had a pillow from Decathlon. That was really good. I did take my blow up pillow as well, so I'd got something to put underneath my head for when I wanted to watch a movie off my phone at night. Let me think. I can't think what else. Oh, rucksack. I didn't take my new rucksack, either of my new rucksacks. I took my little rucksack because I was camping at the Caravan and Camping Club site. I didn't need to actually pack everything into a rucksack. I could just put things in the van. Where are those dogs? Oh, here Freya come. I don't know where Badger is. I can hear him rustling in the undergrowth somewhere. Ah, he's over there. You know where he is, don't you, Freya? Here he comes. So it's Badger's turn to go hiking next. We just have to watch where we're taking him because of his legs. I've got to be careful these days. I want to make him last as long as possible. I know he's only 8, but he's having problems with his legs. And so let me think. I don't think there's anything else. The sat map worked brilliantly as usual. Didn't really need to use it an awful lot. Only used it a couple of times on each walk just to check exactly where I was, even though I knew where I was really, but just as a precautionary thing to check that where I thought I was. And I didn't use the new sleeping bag. I didn't use the thinnest one. I used the 2-season one, and it was perfectly warm enough. I had if you saw me in the green top, which is like fleece on the inside and like a wind resistant fabric on the outside. I had got that on while I was watching my movie at night, and it I was lovely and toasty, and I fell asleep with it on, and then I ended up taking it off in the middle of the night. So, but it was quite warm really, considering how wet it was. So overall, even though it didn't stop raining, we had a good weekend, and I knew the forecast was bad, so that's why I decided to camp on a campsite. And after we'd gone up Kinder on the Saturday and got blown to pieces, it was very nice to come back down and be able to go and have a nice hot shower. So all in all, good weekend. Kit worked perfect. The only thing that didn't quite live up to expectations was my new boots. Well, they're not that new, but they're new for this winter because I had to throw my others away, the ones I always wear. And the was not as waterproof as I would have expected. Hey, get up after that. Don't you roll. You'll have to go in the... I can't see anything. You better not be covered in fox poo, otherwise you're going in the bath. Right. Put me off, you see. Terrible, these dogs, just for distracting you. So, they crossing rivers and stuff, when the water came up over the first 2 holes for the laces, that's when I noticed it started to come in, where these boots I've got on now are running fell race boots, and you can come water up to there before you feel any water just seep in. But I've never liked these boots for running in. They give me a blister. But I've discovered since this weekend, because my other boots are absolutely soaked and I can't get them dry, and they still sat on the radiator, that these are quite good for walking in. And they're very lightweight. If you can see, the Inov-8, they've got treads on the bottom. They're not good if it's really cold, but you can feel the trail better, and they would have been a lot better for going over all those rocks. I have run a 10-mile race through the peaks in these, but I don't know, I think it's because you can't wear a thick pair of socks underneath. You've got to be really thin because the narrow toe. But I've discovered, like I said, walking in them, because I needed a pair of boots to come and walk the dogs in all this rain after I've got back, they're really good. So, talking about my other boots, they didn't stand a chance really the second day, because they wasn't too bad until I adjusted my waterproofs. I think I'd got my waterproofs on, so the water was running down my trousers. The front of the waterproofs were like kinked up, so it ran down the side and off. Well, stupido here decided to change the position and pull the waterproofs further down over my boots, and then the water ran off and ran straight in through where the laces are, because it's only waterproof up to a certain height. Bad mistake. But then again, it didn't matter, because as we tried to come off Kinder, it was running down the path, down Sandy Hayes path, the rocky path, like a river. And a lot of the paths on top of Kinder was nearly ankle deep by the time I got to Sandy Hayes. Go on, go on, go on. Stop in. And when we got to cross a river halfway, no, not far from the bridge at William Clough, which was stepping stones over on the way up, it was a torrent. You couldn't see the stones, so I just had to wade through. So my boots were totally full of water by then. But my feet was warm, but my boots are not drying out. This is the problem. These, if I do get water in them, they do dry out really quick, because they're made for fells, so and bogs. So these are going to be my new summer-ish, autumn-ish type walking boots. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to get for the winter, because you need something that will keep the water out but keep your feet warm. So we'll see. So anyway, cut this video short. We won't have any more waffling on. Brilliant weekend, really enjoyed it, tested things out. Not a whale camp, but I think it was wise in the conditions not to risk whale camping, because trying to put the tent up in the rain when you've never put it up before was hard, because the poles kept slipping out my hands. I couldn't get a grip on the poles because my hands were sopping, and the rain was just running off my jacket down onto my hands, because it was absolutely hammering it down. And so I had to find a bit of a technique to be able to get the poles into them little holes, that come out on the tape from the tent. So once I had got a foot holding one piece down and a foot holding the other piece down, it made it easier, but it still took about 4 attempts with my hands keep slipping up the pole to get them in. Maybe when the tent's been up and down a few times, it might be easier. Either me, more experience, or the tent stretches a bit or whatever. But anyway, so that's it for now. See you next time. I think we might be going along Stanage Edge Friday if we don't get no rain. I think Badger can cope with Stanage Edge, and through the Longshore Estate might go round and go down Padley Gorge. He loves Padley Gorge. So we'll see. Just depend on the weather. Everything depends on the weather at the minute, and my mum and my son at the minute, because I'm helping out with looking after the little one a bit, because my son's just had an operation as well. So I'm busy. So see you next time.